Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to Fit in 30. Hope you're all good. Just turning the sound off my phone so my phone doesn't ring halfway through. Okay, cool. So if you've not been before, I'm Veronica. So I'm teaching this class today, Fit in 30, and the emphasis on the class today is going to be on stretching. So when we think about fitness, overall fitness, we think about several different components of fitness. We think about speed, we think about strength, we think about agility, coordination, balance, endurance, and also flexibility. And why do we need to be flexible? We need to stretch the muscles because it helps improve our posture, it helps strengthen our core, it gives us a greater range of movement in our joints, it helps relieve lower back pain, it helps decrease muscle soreness after you've exercised, and it helps to prevent, stretching helps to prevent injury. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of warm ourselves up with some nice, gentle sort of limbering stretches. And then we're going to move ourselves down onto the floor for much deeper stretches. Okay. So when you're ready, let's just take the feet out nice and wide, create yourself a little bit of space. Make sure you're going to be warm. There's nothing worse than trying to do stretching and you're chilly or you're cold, your muscles are cold. So let's just warm these muscles up a little bit. Knees and toes turned out, okay? And then when you're ready, we're going to reach up and down. And again, just reach up and down. Now, when you do this movement, just check the alignment of your knees. What you want is your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. And when you're at the bottom of that knee bend, we want to make sure that the knee is directly above the ankle. So what we don't want to do is like a plie. We don't want to do this. It's not great for the knees when the knees start going over your toes. So we need to keep the knees above the ankles, knees and toes always pointing in the same direction. The knee joint is a joint that's often quite unstable. We need to keep it nice and strong. Okay, so do a few more of those and hopefully already you're just starting to warm up a little bit. Okay, we'll do about 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. And then bend down, have the hands on the thighs, and take one shoulder in, left one, and then the right. So just some gentle limbering up. And today's class is going to be an overall stretch. So we're just going to think about whole body. We're not going to put any emphasis on any particular muscle or area of the body. It's going to be a whole body stretch. So just start to send those shoulders in one at a time. Oh, we'll do about 8 more of these. 8. Keep going. Hope the sun's shining where you are. It's lovely here today. Last 4. 3, 2, and 1. Now stay in the center there. I'm just going to turn sideways for you. Think about your spine now. So your knees are bent, you're leaning over, and the back is reasonably long. What we're going to do is we're going to round up through the spine, hold, and then we're going to lengthen through the spine. It's called a cat stretch. So we tuck the tailbone around through the spine, stretch across your shoulder blades, and then lengthen. And again, round through the spine and lengthen. And this is a really nice stretch to do if you've been sitting for long periods of time. Your lower back's a bit achy. We always slump, don't we, when we sit? It's a nice release into your back, particularly your lower back. Let's do a couple more. And lengthen. And again, rolling it up and lengthening. And again, rolling it up and lengthening. And then come back to the center. We still got our knees bent. Turn the toes now so the toes are pointing forwards. The knees are still bent. And see if you can slowly go side to side. And as you go side to side, you might be able to go a little bit lower. You might be able to get your fingertips to the floor. If you can't get your fingertips to the floor, maybe if you've got a few books or something, what you could do is you could put those in front of you and get your fingertips to the floor. So, or a chair, you can have your hands up here on a chair. As you go side to side, let's just think about our feet for a moment. What we don't want is the outside edges of the feet lifting like this. If they lift up, your knee drops in. Keep the outside edges of your feet down and go side to side. And we start to stretch the inside thighs, but we're doing it very gently. We're warming them up at the same time. And then once they're a bit warmer, we'll come over to the right and we'll pause. Now really press the outside edge of that left foot down and pull this kneecap up. So we want to contract the quad here, and then we get a nice stretch on the inside thigh. And often what happens is the muscles work in pairs. So at the moment, we've got the quad here at the front and the hamstring at the back. If we contract the quad at the front, we're often stretching the opposite muscle, the hamstring at the back. Okay, let's take it over to the other side. You can get down as low as you comfortably can. Again, be aware that the outside edge of that foot doesn't lift, because then your knee is going to collapse in. We want to keep the hip open. We want to keep the outside edge of that foot down. We've always got to try and maintain a nice arch in our foot, everyone. And then pull this kneecap up. So you contract the quad here, and then you stretch your hamstring. Feel like you're sticking your bum up into the air as well. Inside thigh, adductor stretch. And then come back to the center. Let's see if we can lengthen the spine and then start to walk the hands towards the gap between the legs. Let the neck drop. Have a little kind of sway side to side. Now, when you're in this forward bend position, it's okay to have your knees bent. All right, don't feel you have to have straight legs. If you've got a chair or something, you could be resting on the chair there. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet in, bend the knees, walk the feet in. Bring the feet together, and we're going to very, very, very slowly roll up. And then roll your shoulders back. Good. Let's bring the feet together then. Let's draw the kneecaps up. We've warmed up the legs a little bit. And then we're just going to take a breath in and reach over as we exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arm up, and exhale over. Inhale and exhale. So we're starting to take the spine into a lateral, that means sideways, extension. And when I was mentioning the muscles, again, working in pairs, if we think about our muscles here, what happens is when we go over to the side, this side, the left side contracts and we get the stretch on the right side. And then we come back up. So often there's some toning going on, unless we're doing completely passive stretching. Good, well done. Just keep that going. Try and keep the body in the same plane. By that, I mean, don't bring the head forwards. Imagine you've got a wall in front of you and a wall behind you, and you're stood between the gap of those two walls. But you want to keep the body in the same plane. So what we've got to be careful of when we come over to the side is this leaning forwards. People often do this leaning forwards. Try not to do that. Let's do a couple more on each side. Really nice stretch there on the sides of the ribs. And we always want to elongate the spine before we move it. We want to create space between our vertebrae. So we always lift up and then we go. So always feel like you're lifting your ribs up and out of the waist and then go to the side. Okay, now we're going to take both arms up. See if you can grasp your right wrist with your left hand. And then as you breathe in, get that space between your vertebrae. So really lift up and lengthen. And then as you exhale, draw that arm over. And this time we're going to hold. Be careful you're not sort of swinging your hips over to the side. Try and keep the body weight even over the left and right foot. And just start to feel like you're lifting these right ribs up and out of your waist. We get this really nice stretch down the right side of the waist. And then when you're holding your stretches, always focus on relaxing into your breathing. Nice, relaxed. Inhale. And on the exhale, that's when you release and maybe go a little deeper. Inhale. As you exhale, you release and go a little bit deeper. Nice. Well done. Let's come up. Let's change sides. So with the right hand, grasp your left wrist. And then as you inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, take it over. And when you first go into your stretch, I always say to people, only go into it maybe about 30% of your capability. And then you breathe the next 70%. So as you inhale, you lift the ribs, create more room between your vertebra. And then as you exhale, if you've created room, you're going to move a little deeper. All right. So as you inhale, create space between your vertebra. As you exhale, we come over. Again, be careful that you're not pressing all your weight into your left hip there. Make sure you're lifting out and out of your waist. Keep the jaw relaxed and relax into your breathing. Couple more breaths. Nice. Release as you exhale. And then we'll inhale back to the center. And as we exhale, we relax, circle the shoulders round, as well as stretching into our muscles, you know, our biceps, triceps, our major muscles. We want to stretch out the fascia in the body. That's the stuff that connects all the muscles together. So we're going to do a nice roll down, and this is going to be a nice release into your spine. So if we take our feet hip bone distance apart and have the knees and toes pointing forwards, and then soften the knees, kind of let your body go now, let it slump. All right, so softening the knees, and then we're going to move from the top of the spine down through each vertebra. So nice and slow, you're going to bring the chin to your chest, and then you're going to just slowly start to roll down, letting your arms dangle, and then you keep going. If you can't get to the floor, rest on your thighs like this, all right? If it's okay, though, come all the way down. Now, you can bend the knees as much as you like. Now let your arms hang. Have a little sway side to side. Whenever we fold forwards, we want to make sure that we're not sinking all our weight into our heels. So make sure you've got equal weight between the back of the foot and the front of the foot. Really let go, release into the spine. And this is another really nice exercise to do if you're sat for any length of time. You know, maybe every half an hour or even every 20 minutes, do a roll down. And then bend the knees, come back up, let the arms dangle, focus on the tailbone, and then take your awareness up each individual vertebra. So the last thing to unfold, everyone, will be your shoulders, and then your neck, and then you're up. All right? So we're going to do the same thing again, but instead of folding into the center, we're going to fold over the right leg, and then we'll fold over the left leg. So soften your knees, rotate your torso towards your right leg, let your arms dangle, drop your chin in, and then one vertebra at a time, just slowly start to roll down. Let go, everyone. Let the knees bend, coming over that right thigh this time. Let the neck hang. Maybe just nod your head forwards and back, side to side. Release your jaw. Let go of all the muscles in your face. And then slowly from the tailbone, we're going to roll back up. So the last thing to unfold will be the neck. And then we'll get ready to go to the other side. So we turn over towards the left, bend the knees, let everything go, chin in, and then go down and feel that really nice release. Releasing into your spine, releasing into your neck, letting all the muscles go, all the connective tissue. Let it relax. Let your face relax. Let your jaw relax. And then once you've been down there, let the neck release, and slowly from the tailbone. Don't rush this one. The slower you go on this one, the better. And then you slowly come up. The last thing to unfold is your shoulders, and then your neck. And you've got to sort your hair out. Okay, good. All right, so let's bring the right knee and hug it into the chest. Now you can hold on to the back of the thigh and hug it in, or you can hold on to your shin and draw it up. If you're a bit wobbly, use your wardrobe or your wall or whatever and hold it there. Now try and stand nice and tall. This is going to give us a bit of a stretch here, everyone, into our glutes. All right, into our glutes, and a little bit to the outside here, abductors. The inside thighs are your adductors, outside abductors. So just draw that in nice and as high as you can. It's almost like your body's in half splits here, but we haven't straightened this leg. And then take the same leg behind, extend it back here, send your hips forward. So you get a bit of a stretch here at the front of the hip. And release. Let's do the other side. Okay, so let's start by hugging it in. Now you can hold on to the back of your thigh or your shin. All right, and remember what I said earlier, 30% of your capability. And then as the muscle starts to relax, and you've got to try and get this feeling of letting go. You don't want to force, you know, you don't want to be sort of pulling it in like this, really, really tight. All that will happen if you do that is the muscle will rebel and it will tighten up. Right, you've got to allow it to relax. And you always do that as you breathe out. So when you breathe out, it's almost like you sigh. You know, when you're sighing, you're letting go of tension. All right. So release as you exhale. Maybe hold these type of stretches for about 5 breaths. Not a massively deep stretch. Releasing into your glutes. And then slowly take that leg back, extend it back. To get this stretch at the front of this hip, what we don't want to do is turn into a banana shape with the upper body. We've got to push the hip gently forward. So we get a hip flexor stretch here. All right. And we get a nice quad stretch. And if we sit for too long, our hip flexors are very tight. So it's good to get this nice open feeling here at the front of your hip. And all of this kind of stretching around this area, stretching and toning around this area, balancing, it'll be really good for your lower back. Good, and then relax. We're going to come to, if you had a mat, the front of the mat. So see if you've got some space behind you. And we're going to run through a little sequence. It's a yoga sequence, but it's also a really good sequence to warm the body up and start to stretch around all the muscles and the joints in the body. So we'll do it slowly, just in case you've never seen it before. If you want to, you can watch the first round. You know, if you've got this on your phone and it's difficult to see, watch the first round and join in on the second one. We'll do about 5 rounds so you get sort of used to the flow. But don't worry if you're missing bits out. Don't worry if you're not sure if you're doing it right. Just go with it, okay? So we're going to bring the hands in front of the chest. So the first thing we do is inhale, and we take the arms up, and we lift the ribs up and out of the waist, and we take a little arch back and a gentle gaze up. So we go into a bit of a back bend and stretch up the front of the body. Now as we exhale, we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to fold forwards. Now, you're folding forwards, you might want to rest here on your thighs. You might get down to the floor. Let your neck go and then start to lift up from the backs of your thighs. Then we're going to step back with the right leg and we're going to lengthen the spine and try and look forwards, stretching into the back of that right leg. And then as we exhale, we're going to step into a down dog. Now in a down dog, we try and push away from the floor and release the heels down. And then from the down dog, we're going to step the right foot forwards. Now, if you can't step it all the way forwards, come to your hands and knees first. Grab it and then bring it forwards, because it's really important that that front knee there sits above the ankle bone and it doesn't go beyond your foot like this. You don't want to overload your knee. So knee above ankle bone, stretch into the back leg, lengthen your spine, shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, bring the feet together and fold again. It's okay to bend your knees and it's okay to rest on your thighs. And then we inhale, come up and we gaze up and stretch at the front of the belly. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So if you'd like to have a go this time, all right, you ready? Inhale, stretch up, hit the front of your belly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take your left leg back this time. Lengthen your spine, check the front knees above the ankle bone. Exhale into down dog. Release both heels towards the floor. Inhale, step the left foot forwards. You can kneel down to do it. Check the knees above the ankle bone. Straighten the back leg. Exhale, feet together, fold. Inhale, up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do the other side. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back, lengthen the spine. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, step the right foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do one more on the left. So inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the left foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now we're going to stay down this time. So we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. We're going to inhale, step back with the right leg. Exhale into down dog. And then I want you to come onto your hands and your knees. Point your toes away. We're going to do some cat-cow stretches for the spine. So as we exhale, we're going to round up through the spine, push away from the floor, tuck the tailbone under and bring your chin in. And then when you inhale, we're going to elongate the spine, send the heart forwards. Keep this flowing with your own breathing. As you exhale, round through your spine, tuck the tailbone under, chin in. And then inhale, elongate the spine. Keep this moving, everyone. I want you to focus on the 3 significant areas in your spine. You've got your lower back, your lumbar spine. You've got your thoracic spine, which is the middle part of the back between the shoulder blades. And then you've got your cervical spine, which is your neck. Now, your neck and your lower back are usually highly flexible. And they're the vulnerable areas of your back. That's where we often have problems in our neck and shoulders and our lower back. The thoracic spine, the mid-spine between the shoulder blades, is the area that tends to be very stiff, okay? So when you're doing these cat-cow stretches, I want you to pay particular attention to the movement between your shoulder blades, because sometimes if you are particularly stiff there, what will happen is your lower back and your neck, which are highly mobile, will start to move too much. And that's when sometimes you create problems. So make sure you don't over dip in the lower back. Make sure you don't throw your head back just because you can. And focus on movement between your shoulder blades. Now let's do a couple more of these. One more. And relax. We're going to start to open up and work around the hips a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit with our toes together, and then I want you to take your knees wide apart. Okay, toes together, knees wide apart. So we want to have a feeling of opening up through these hips. All right, opening up through the hips. If you struggle with that for whatever reason, what you can do, you can put blocks or cushions underneath your hips and your heels. Yeah, so always have your pillow, maybe from your bed or whatever. When we do any stretching, always get some cushions and stuff that might help you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to walk the hands forwards and see if we can reach in front and rest the forehead down. And we're going to relax here for about 5 breaths. Every time you breathe out, have a feeling of opening up your shoulders and opening up your hips. Try and find a position where you can completely relax. Stay there for me. So we've often got tension in our body. We don't even realize it. So as you're lying in that posture, we're going to call it child's pose. In yoga, it's called child's pose. Opening the hips, opening up the shoulders. As you're relaxing there, let's focus on relaxing through the feet, ankles, knees, your hips. Let the belly relax, all the muscles in your back, your arms, your shoulders, your neck. I want you to even relax your face in that position. Just let everything go. Let gravity draw everything down. Let everything open up. Good, well done. And then we're going to come up and we're going to step the right foot forwards and move the left knee back. All right, if you need to put a cushion or something underneath your back knee, you can. Try and get the back knee slightly behind this hip. So what we're trying to do is get a nice stretch here at the front of the left thigh, the quad, the hip flexor here. This front knee needs to sit above the ankle bone, knee and toe points forwards. And then we're going to take our hands behind, linking our fingers together, and we're going to open up the chest. You can take a gaze up if it's comfortable. To feel that lovely stretch, it comes up the whole of the front of your body. And remember when I was talking about muscles working in pairs, if we're stretching at the front here, you're toning down the back area there. All right. And then with your hands, bring your hands to the left side of your waist, both of them to the left side of the waist. And we start to open up the front of that right shoulder. So we've got both hands to the left side of the waist, opening up the front of that right shoulder. And then from here, we're going to take the body weight back and bring the right toe towards us, and then bring the chest over that right thigh. Now, as you flex the foot, flexing the foot means drawing the toe towards you. If we point the toes away, we're not flexing the foot. If we draw the toes towards us, we're flexing the foot. And then we're lengthening this muscle, our calf muscle and our Achilles. And then come forwards, and we'll swap the legs over. So let's step forwards with the left foot. Take the right knee slightly behind your hip and point the toe away. And come up when you're ready. So a bit of padding underneath the back knee if you need it. So let's see how we feel here. We should be feeling a bit of a stretch at the front of our right thigh and our hip flexor. Lengthen up through your abdomen there. And this time we're going to take the arms in front and round the back. So stretching across the back, bringing the chin in. So stretching across your shoulder blades, the thoracic spine. Remember I mentioned that bit up here between your shoulder blades that tends to be stiff. Lower back, neck, highly mobile. This bit, stiff. Let's release it. And then take the arms up. And whilst we're in this position, let's do the triceps. So take your left fingertips down between the shoulder blades and gently ease that arm back. So we're in this position. And swaps arms. So let's take the right fingertips between the shoulder blades and ease it back. Some of you might be able to take this hand behind, link your fingers together. Not to worry if you can't, just hold it wherever you're comfortable. Don't force anything. Remember, when you stretch, you want to give these muscles time to release. And then we're going to come down, bring the body weight back, draw the left toe towards you. Let's sit back through that hip. Don't lock this knee out, by the way. Don't lock the knee out and put pressure on it. Soft knee. Point the toe away. Flex the foot. Notice the difference. Point the toe away. When you flex the foot, you get that nice calf stretch here. Good. Well done, everybody. Excellent. And then we'll come forwards and we're going to come into sitting. Let's just release a little bit into our neck and our shoulders to finish things off. If we wiggle our hips back, if you're not comfortable sitting cross-legged, by the way, sit however you like. And we're going to release into the neck and the shoulders just in case you've been sat at a desk this morning, or even if you just got out of bed or you've been running or anything like that. Nice stretch. So let's let the arms relax and then slowly tilt your head to the right. Relax your jaw and feel like your left shoulder blade's being pulled down, and you'll get a really good stretch on the side of the neck. And then bring the head back to the center. As you exhale, tilt the head to the left and let the right shoulder draw away from the ear. Again, keep the face and the jaw completely relaxed. And then bring the head back to the center. Now as you exhale, bring your chin down towards your chest. And again, let both shoulders now draw away from your ears. And come back to the center. This time, take a gentle gaze up. You're not going to throw your head back. It's more of a gaze up with the jaw super relaxed. And come back to the center. Good. Now keep length in the back of the neck. So feel like you've been hooked up from the base of your skull, and draw your chin back slightly. Draw the chin back. So what we've got to avoid is jutting the chin forwards and pinching in the back of the neck. So gently draw your chin back. And then feel like you've got a hook at the base of the skull, hooking you up. And then very slowly turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Let that left shoulder melt down. Let your jaw relax. And then we'll inhale back to the center. As you exhale, turn the head to look over your left shoulder. Let your right shoulder melt down. And we'll inhale and come back round to the center. And then lastly, imagine you've got a dimple in the center of your chin and draw circles with it. Let your jaw relax. Draw circles with that dimple. and circle the other way. Center, left hand in front, right hand behind. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Remember to create that space between your vertebrae that I mentioned earlier. And then like a spiral staircase from the waist, moving up through each vertebra, start to turn to the right. Twists are really good for the health of the spine if they're done correctly. If you don't get the lift first, you're going to knock your spine up. You need to lift up first, create the space between the vertebrae, and then slowly move one vertebra at a time. And twists are really good. What they do is they stretch and strengthen the muscles in the abdomen and the back as well. And they give you an internal massage to your abdominal organs too. And then we'll come back round to the center, right hand in front, left hand behind. So as you breathe in, lengthen up. And then as you exhale, you gently turn to the left. And that's a gorgeous stretch. You know, so even if you're at your desk and you're doing lots of typing, maybe every 10 minutes, just do a little stretch to each side. And then come back to the center. And another thing you can do when you're sat at your desk, you can do those neck exercises, is you can drop down, you can slump. And then as you breathe in, you rise up, but let your shoulders melt. Navel to spine. As you exhale, you can slump. And then as you inhale, you can rise up. And sometimes just doing a few of these every now and then, it'll be really helpful for your back, because as you slump down, you stretch all the muscles in the back and you tone your abs. And then when you inhale and you rise up, you strengthen your back and you extend your abs. Let's do another one. Good. And then take a nice breath in, everyone. Bring all that energy into your body. As you exhale, bring the arms down, get rid of all the cares of your day. And again, breathe in, bring all that positive stuff into your body. And then as you exhale, let go of all the cares of your day. Circle your shoulders round and relax. And well done. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm doing classes Fit and 30 on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Those days I'll be doing more cardio, muscle group exercises. And then the Sundays, a nice relaxation. So what you could do on a Sunday as well, if you wanted to, is you could incorporate this with your own exercise. So you could do some exercise before the class, even if it's just going for a walk outside or whatever. And then you can come and do the stretch. Or you can do your work if you've got work to do and you sat at your desk, do your bits and bobs and then have a nice stretch. All right, take care, everyone, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you. Bye.